Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Welcome back, dear students. I'll present today about the double line floor plan. In the last class we had covered the details about single line floor plan, how to prepare a single line floor plan. So after the understanding of the preparation of single line floor plans, let us now look into the process of preparing double line floor plan. My name is Dr. Vishal Chettry and I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Architecture, Planning and Design at IIT Varanasi. So now let us look into the content of this presentation. So we will start with the recap that about the single line floor plans that was covered in the previous presentation, and then I will introduce you to the double line floor plan. Thereafter the iterative design process that is followed while preparing double line floor plan, reviewing and refining the plan layouts, what is the process and how it is to be done, aligning plans with the core project ideas, best practices for presenting floor plans, thereafter techniques for developing and presenting architectural floor plans, and then the conclusion or the key takeaways from this presentation will be discussed. So to give you a recap of what we had covered in the previous presentation, I presented you the details about single line floor plan. So these single line floor plans are used to explain the composition of spaces in early design development. So this translates the design concept into a spatial organization. So this has to be understood in detail, because you cannot abruptly jump from a concept to the preparation of double line floor plan. So there has to be a transition step, that is what is a single line floor plan step. So in this basically you try to materialize or try to give a form or shape to the concept that you have in your mind, or to the connections between the spaces that you show through bubble diagram or through zoning drawings within the site or within the building. So these gradually materialize to the single line floor plan of the drawing, and then the single line floor plan is detailed out in the form of double line floor plan. So the development of space, relationships and adjacency diagrams guides the efficient preparation of single line floor plan. So consideration of natural light, ventilation and structural clarity enhances the comfort and buildability of that type of project. So incorporation of building codes and standards ensure that the plan that you have drafted or prepared is compliance with the existing building codes or norms that are there in the particular city. So this was what we had understood related to the single line floor plan. Now let us look into the details of a double line floor plan. So a double line floor plan represents the thickness of wall. So this is what is difference between a single line floor plan and the double line floor plan. So in single line floor plan, many times it is just drawn in the form of proportionate drawings or just a rough sketch is prepared in the preparation of single line floor plan. But in case of double line floor plan, we also show the thickness of the wall and then the effective floor space that is available for the to perform the activity. So that is what is being shown through the double line floor plan, along with the details of openings, that is doors, windows and other building elements, that provides a more accurate and buildable depiction compared to the single line floor plan. So this transition is crucial for enhancing architectural communication, ensuring detail accuracy for construction, and then laying the foundation for structural and MEP integration. So this is why the preparation of double line floor plan is necessary. Then the purpose of floor plan is to move design from abstract to tangible representation. It helps you visualize the wall thickness, openings and circulation pattern more correctly than the single line floor plan, bridges the gap between conceptual sketches and construction ready plan, because when you will execute the particular drawing that an architect prepares, so the civil engineer or the site supervisor will actually follow what you have shown in the double line floor plan, because it includes all the relevant details. Where do you need double brick thick wall, somewhere if you need half brick thick wall or one brick full thick wall. So all these decisions has to be taken based on the preparation of your double line floor plan. So the role in architectural communication of double line floor plan is that it provides a precise detailing which enables better understanding among peers, faculty and the person who will be building the project that you have just finished. So this is also along with the importance in thesis, this is also equally important in a real life scenario. Standardized format reduces ambiguity in design intent. So there is a standard protocol that has to be followed while preparing such drawings, because it has to be prepared in such a way that it can be understood by any person who is there in this site. So the site supervisor, civil engineer has to understand, no matter the same set of drawing is being sent to different places, it may so happen that tomorrow your project that you work on may be there in Gujarat, or it may be somewhere in Tamil Nadu, but still the process of preparing double line floor plan, the annotations and hatching, all these things has to be used as per a specific protocol that is followed for preparation of double line floor plan. Then the iterative design process that includes while formalizing the double line floor plan. So the iterative design process emphasizes continuous improvement. Instead of moving directly from concept to the final plan, architects cycle through revision based on the feedback and contextual analysis. So it is an iterative process. So as you formalize your single line floor plan into double line floor plan, there is always some changes that will happen during the process. So if you have to go back and forth, like these steps has to be taken while you complete the double line floor plan. This approach helps for identifying weakness, exploring alternatives and progressively moving towards the solution that balances innovation as well as the practicality. So the steps that is generally included is the translation of rough sketches into measurable layouts, establishing basic room sizes and the circulation pattern of within the space. Then maintaining flexibility for iterative changes is essential. Thereafter gradually then you add structural walls, openings, doors or windows, furniture and fixtures, building services like plumbing and HVAC, and then all these informations will help you in clear communication of the design intent. So the iterative design process is cyclical in nature, where the design are continuously improved, integrating feedback from various sources, from human stakeholders to the computational simulation, leading to more robust and effective solutions. So we start with a design, that is we conceive an idea and then we try to develop the initial plan layout, then we review it, we try to discuss the same drawings with supervisor or with peers, and then based on their feedback we'll try to improvise the drawing. There the next stage is to refine the drawing based on the feedback and then repeat this process, because the more you discuss the better would be that the different perspectives related to the particular building is well taken care when you formalize the floor plan, because based on that the elevation, based on that the circulation within the building or the optimum utilization of spaces is possible. Then when you review and refine the plan layouts, so reviewing floor plans requires a critical lens. So are spaces proportionate, is circulation efficient, Does zoning respect the privacy and hierarchy of functions? Refinement also involves adjusting layouts based on feedbacks from peers, faculty or clients, iteratively resolving conflicts between functionality, aesthetics and constructability. So, when you review and refine the floor plan, you have to be very critical about the work that you have done. You should not have any biasness regarding the plan that is being formulated. So, it should be such that there has to be a balance between the aesthetic intent and the practical consideration. So, peer and faculty critique is necessary. It engages in structured critiques to gain diverse perspectives and identify areas for improvement. It is very good to always take feedback from as many people as possible, because the different perspectives related to a particular building is well taken care of. Sometimes what happens, when we start preparing the floor plan, we move in a particular direction. So while doing that, at times we we try to overlook few aspects that we think may not be essential, or sometimes by completely by mistake we forget to incorporate those important ideas when we prepare the floor plan. So the feedback and discussion with the peers and supervisor takes us like it helps us in getting rid of all the small mistakes that might occur in the preparation of floor plan. So the code compliance, that is very essential. So what does National Building Code suggest, or the DCR, that is Development Control Rule of your respective states, suggest for the building typology. So based on that you can take inputs and then incorporate in the floor plan. Also the aesthetics and function, that is balance the visual appeal of the design with its practical functionality and constructability. So this factor also has to be considered, because when your floor plan is ready, so based on that the decision about the preparation of the elevation of the building or the overall view of the building is dependent on. So that is why when you think of the plan, or when you start preparing the plan, at the same time the development of elevation of the building should also be thought of. Then there are some analytical tool and computational insights that are relevant when you review and refine the plan layout, such as in analytical tool, adjacency graphs or spatial flow analysis can be used. In case of computational insight, you can, if you have a huge site wherein you are doing the master plan, or you are preparing the master plan for the project, so there probably you can go for traffic flow simulation to understand the movement of vehicles and pedestrians within the site, or you can also analyze the daylighting and energy performance studies that will help you understand the amount of light that is actually entering the structure and whether it is creating discomfort or creating comfortable situation for the users. Then there are other aspects, such as aligning plans with the core project parameter, because when you talk about the concept, so it is not just an idea about the form of the building, it is actually to be represented through different elements of the design. So one of that element is the floor plan. So whatever idea you had regarding the project, that also should be discussed through the preparation of floor plan. So it should also present details about climate responsiveness, and also ensure that the local building codes are followed, accessibility parameters are taken care of, and then the structural logic that we have discussed in the single line floor plan is also followed when you prepare the double line floor plan. So plans should also reflect the project's core vision, whether it is sustainability, innovation or any cultural identity. So how does these terminologies get reflected through a plan? Only then you can say that the concept that you had about the project is fully justified. Then effective floor plans are not isolated drawings, they are also deeply integrated with project's foundational parameters, reflecting a holistic design approach. So what are those approaches? So user centric design is one of the important factor that has to be kept in mind when you prepare the floor plan. So as per the feedback or input received from the users during interviews or stakeholder discussion, you have to actually incorporate those suggestions when you prepare the floor plan. Then site specific responses, what are the site conditions and how have you designed the building in such a way that it adapts the existing site, rather than rather than coming up with a design solution that is completely like it disregards the site characteristics. So you should design a building that complements the site characteristics, and you try to utilize the features that are there in the site to its maximum potential. Then the third one is conceptual coherence, that is the main strong idea that is there in your mind has to be maintained within the different drawings that you create. For example, it may be floor plan, it may be the other detailed drawings like elevation or the view of the building. So the conceptual idea has to bind all these different elements of the design submissions. So the best practices for presenting floor plans in thesis includes the plans must be graphically clear and appropriate scale has to be used so that one understands the volume of the space, as well as with full clarity we can see whether the space that you have thought is of is appropriate or not to perform some kind of activity. With hierarchy in line weights, this is very essential so that we can differentiate between the different objects that are there within the floor plan. Proper annotation, because as already mentioned, you have to use proper protocol, you have to follow protocol for preparing the floor plan so that it is understood by large number of professionals who are involved in the building industry. Then supporting diagrams such as zoning, circulation, adjacency should be explained before you present the floor plan. Also maintain consistency across drawings, that ensures professionalism and readability. The clarity and professionalism of floor plan are paramount for effective communication in an academic thesis. So the drawing conventions, that is line weight, represents the thickness of walls, thin or furniture detail. So these informations are represented through line weights. Hatching for material, so that we understand what type of material is actually used in the construction of walls or other aspects that we highlight through the floor plan. It may be columns, it may be a staircase, because partially it is also visible the materials that are used in the staircase. So that is also you can highlight along with the materials that is used for doors, windows. So if you prepare a detailed drawing, so probably there the material of doors, windows and other details are highlighted in detail while you prepare the floor plan. So the scale and clarity, because it is essential so that we understand the proportion of spaces that are used within the floor plan that you have prepared. Avoid overcrowding, maintain spaces between different elements that you have used, highlight hierarchy of spaces through visual emphasis. And then the graphic hierarchy also has to be followed. Primary elements like walls, openings and circulation has to be depicted. Secondary elements like furniture, fixtures or landscaping then it should be highlighted. And then use contrast, line weight and annotation effectively to represent the idea or the details about the floor plan. So with the clarity and professionalism, you also have to showcase the details about layering information, that is separate design, technical and annotation layers, maintain clarity and reduce the clutter, that is visual clutter within the drawing. Digital tools support toggleable layers for presentations, integration with section and elevation. So plans should be prepared in such a way that it corresponds with the vertical representation that you have prepared, or it is either way, whatever elevation you have prepared, it should correspond to the plan that you have prepared. Then it will help the person who will evaluate your work more clearly if you use some detailed drawings, like if you follow these informations properly. Also you can use color, texture and diagrams to designate different zones within the within the floor plan. So textures for materials and surfaces can be used in the form of hatching. Diagrams for movement, zoning and spatial hierarchy can also be depicted in the floor plan. So there are few techniques of developing and presenting the floor plans. So we generally start with the sketch that we prepare for the particular building, that what is the idea behind the project, like the single line floor plan. Then we prepare the double line floor plan in some software, and then we try to develop the 3D or perspectives or renders for the project as shown here in the image. So the first and foremost thing includes it's kind of hand sketching for conceptualization. So to just visualize what would be the arrangement of spaces within the floor plan, that is what is attempted at the first stage of preparing the floor plan. Then you convert the same sketches into AutoCAD drawings, into a technical drawing, so that you try to improvise the spaces or the circulation spaces or the connection between the spaces through the proper drawings in some softwares. Alternatively, it can be done through handwork. These days we have various softwares so that you can explore, but in earlier days generally hand drawings were preferred. Then third is exploring design tools for further detailing of the spaces, like you can use Photoshop or other softwares to render the floor plan that is discussed, and then before or after comparison you can do for visual storytelling, and then you can also showcase the iterations that have been done, so that the progressive development of the floor plan is well understood, and how have you achieved a certain floor plan can be understood by the examiner if you show the progressive development of the floor plan. Then at the end you develop a 3D visualization and diagram to depict the internal layout of the spaces. So to conclude this presentation, the floor plan design relies on iterative refinement, balancing aesthetics, functionality and the code compliance. So transition from single line to double line floor plan enhances clarity, accuracy and buildability in communication and the construction. The critical review, structured feedback and adherence to design codes ensures that the plans meet professional and the academic standards, that is a benchmark for any institute. Graphical clarity and proper annotations along with consistent supporting diagrams are essential for communicating the design intent very clearly. Then you can also explore some softwares like AutoCAD, BIM softwares, and hand sketching also can be used to explain some ideas about the floor plan and also to detail the floor plans for a standard depiction of the floor plan. Presenting 3D views and diagrams increases engagement and enables comprehensive spatial understanding about the connection between the spaces. So these are some resources that you can refer on the details about architectural thesis, and these are the topics that will be covered in the next presentation. So we'll start with basically the elevation and the preparation of sectional drawings in the next unit, but in the next immediate presentation we'll discuss about the elevation, the building elevation, exploring the basics and significance of elevation, expressing architectural character, techniques for exterior facade development, design principles for elevation development, elevation drawing conventions, and some case studies and examples. So with this I'd like to conclude this presentation, and I hope the information about the preparation of double line floor plan is useful for you, and you could develop the double line floor plan for a project very effectively with all the discussions that we have done in this presentation. So I'd like to thank you for your patience listening, and hope to meet you in the next presentation.